Welcome back. Chances are if you've tried to quit smoking, it didn't work, but a new government report shows that most people do want to give it up. Erica Edwards has more.
A majority of Americans who do this don't want to.
More than 2/3 of the people who smoke in America say they want to quit completely.
And while more than half of those people tried to quit last year, the Centers for Disease Control reports just 6% of smokers were successful. President Obama is one of them.
Now, I know you quit smoking.
I did.
His successful quit alone undoubtedly will lead to thousands of others succeeding in quitting as well.
The CDC says African Americans are the group most likely to want and try to quit, but have the lowest success rate. One theory for this is that African Americans smoke menthol cigarettes 3 times as much as the general population.
The Scientific Advisory Council for the FDA found that they think there's evidence that menthol makes it harder to quit.
It's also harder to quit the earlier you start. The vast majority of adult smokers picked up the habit as teenagers. And the Food and Drug Administration has begun to enforce federal law that bans selling tobacco products to minors. In recent weeks, the FDA has sent more than 1,200 warning letters to retailers. Many neglected to get proof of age from customers buying cigarettes.
The nation's retailers really are at the front line of protecting our kids from initiating tobacco use.
The CDC report also found a majority of 18 to 24-year-old smokers attempted to quit last year. Experts say it's a good first step.
When you try to quit smoking, it often takes many times before you finally succeed.
And if you don't at least try, your chances of success are 0. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
So the question is really, how do you quit? The American Cancer Society dedicated this whole month to trying to get that message out and trying to help people. We're here with Heather Higgins from the local chapter of the American Cancer Society. So it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's very difficult to quit smoking, and it's very important for loved ones to give support to smokers who are trying to quit. The average smoker, it takes 7 serious attempts to quit smoking. So if they, yes, 7, and if they've tried once or twice and haven't quit, don't give up, because you need to keep trying.
Honestly, if I try something 4 times and I'm no good at it, that's probably my limit. So I can see why people don't get past that point.
Yeah, it's important not to get discouraged, because, you know, there's lots of resources out there to help. And statistically, the best way to quit smoking is to use a medication therapy along with some type of counseling program, whether that be an online support group or an in-person support group or a class. So if you combine those 2 things, that you really have the best chances of quitting smoking.
Yeah, when you said counseling, I was thinking, okay, so I lug myself over to a meeting, but you can do it online?
There are online support, there's telephone support, there's lots of different support, and depending on the person, it just depends, you know, what would work best for them.
All right, and the first part of that of quitting, you said, was a medical. What kinds of medical things can people do?
Like the gum or the patch, or there's medications that smokers can talk with their doctor and determine what would be the best method for them to use to quit. And they definitely should bring it up, because, you know, this is a medical issue and it affects their health. And their doctor will be happy to talk with them about ways to help them quit smoking.
Well, the commercials for those products make it look so easy, and you always see the person saying, oh yeah, I did this for a week and I'm cured. But a lot of my friends who are smokers who have tried to quit, they don't have it that easy.
Yes, it's very common for it to take a long time. You know, 7 attempts is a lot of attempts, and what that means is, you know, it takes some people longer than 7 attempts. So it's definitely a very difficult thing, because nicotine is an addictive substance, and it's very difficult to quit. So I know it's when you love somebody and you want them to quit, it's easy to say, oh, just quit, but you know, you really need to be supportive, because it's very difficult for them to quit.
It's really hard as a non-smoker to understand why someone you love would do that to themselves. I mean, what can you do to offer them support?
Well, you know, you can, you know, offer them services that could help. You know, you can say, you know, have you talked to your doctor about, you know, using a therapy? And, you know, gentle, be very gentle with your suggestions and help, and offer, you know, if they set a quit date, that's one of the most important things to do. And the Great American Smokeout's coming up on Thursday, so that's a great day to set as a quit date. But set a quit date, and you know, help your loved one through that time. You know, offer to go for a walk, or do something fun, or, you know, offer them a piece of gum you know, at a time that they would normally have a cigarette. So these are all things to, you know, sort of encourage them and let them know that you're there to help.
Yeah, I just thought of that movie Karina. I don't know if you've seen that, where the little girl,
Yes.
she sees that smoking is bad on TV, so she hides all the cigarettes.
Yes.
And that's not really the right approach.
No, I did that too when I was a kid. I think a lot of kids have done that. And you know, when people are ready to quit and they make a plan for themselves, that's when they're usually most successful. So it's great to encourage your loved ones to quit and to give them resources like the American Cancer Society's phone number, the 1-800-227-2345 number, that can offer them tips and materials to quit smoking and direct them to local resources that will help them quit. So that's a really good thing you can do. That's a sort of a productive step to help people quit smoking.
And we'll have that number again throughout the show, but that number you can call 24/7.
24/7, and there's people waiting to help.
That's so great. That's so great, because I think a lot of people probably feel alone in this, you know?
Yes, it can be very, very alienating because, smokers say, well, I really want to quit and they really try and sometimes they're nervous about telling people, that they're trying to quit because they're worried if they're not successful, people will, give them a hard time and that sort of thing. But it is important to have a good support system when you're trying to quit. So we always encourage people to, let their loved ones, know that they're trying to quit and tell them ways that they could be helpful.
I've also heard people get frustrated before and say, like, well, I tried to quit, it didn't work, so I'm going to stay at my... They feel like even cutting down won't make a difference. But if you feel like you can't quit all the way, is reducing the number of cigarettes you smoke in a day or a week, does that help?
Well, there's some strategies on quitting smoking. Sometimes people quit, what they call cold turkey and just stop smoking, and other people cut down gradually. What we know is that quitting at any point, whether you've been smoking for 10 years or for 50 years, it will help improve your health. So even 10 years after quitting smoking, a former smoker's lung risk is about half that of a smoker's lung cancer risk. Okay. So, that's important for people to know and to give themselves little milestones like that to help keep them encouraged that, they can do this and it is going to make an impact on their health for the positive.
So even if you've been smoking for decades, it's not too late for you?
It's never too late to quit. It definitely will help improve your health at any point. So we definitely want to encourage people no matter how long they've been smoking to try to quit.
And there's a big nationwide campaign. The Great American Smokeout is this coming Thursday.
Yes.
And why that one day?
Well, it's really important because a lot of times people say, oh, I'll quit next week or next month or next year. And yeah, and that, you can keep pushing it off forever. So the American Cancer Society in 1976 came up with the Great American Smokeout. And that first year, it's estimated that 1 million people gave up cigarettes for the day. Wow. So it's a great way to kind of put an exclamation point on your attempts to quit smoking and to go ahead and give cigarettes up for that day and hopefully then for the rest of your life.
Yeah, is that the idea of the Great American Smokeout, is to say at least give it up for one day and try not smoking for one day?
Yes, and to, build awareness in the community around that day and offer support and services and let people know that there's help out there and to, try to support smokers through quitting.
Yeah, well, it's such a great idea. And how's the campaign grown over the years? Because I would imagine it's just kind of picked up, steam.
Yeah, the Great American Smokeout is very well known throughout the whole United States now. And there's a lot of activities that happen during the week of the Great American Smokeout, the month of November, because it's Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and of course on the third Thursday of November for the Great American Smokeout. So we're expecting a lot of people to be looking for resources and ways to quit smoking for the Great American Smokeout.
And what you could do too is maybe find a friend and quit together for the day.
That's a great idea. The buddy system is a really good way to quit smoking because you can offer each other support and encouragement.
Just like trying to start working out.
Yes, yes.
Which we all also need help with.
Yes, that always helps.
We do have to take a quick break, but what's really cool about this campaign is that you're also reaching out to kids to kind of get them to avoid the idea of smoking and get them to realize the health risks at a young age. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll talk about what you're doing in schools right after this.